Presser. The 2008 G8 summit was your usual affair, well, except for the fact that France's leader was drunk. During a session with the press, President Nicolas Sarkozy was shown to be acting rather strangely, taking strange pauses, smiling weirdly, slurring his words, and acting somewhat confused at moments. The whole thing was awkward. Sarkozy isn't known to be a drinker, and the president later said he was just out of breath because he was late. While that would explain his huffing and puffing, it makes one wonder why he wouldn't take at least a minute to get himself composed before greeting the press. Classic Joe. If there's one thing you can count on Joe Biden for, it's that he doesn't hold anything back, even if it means speaking without thinking things through. While still a vice presidential candidate, Biden produced one of those moments that left audiences cringing. During a campaign stop in Missouri, while introducing various VIPs, Biden mentioned Senator Chuck Graham and invited him to stand up. There was just one massive problem. Graham is a paraplegic who uses a wheelchair. The future VP quickly saw his mistake and tried to shift direction, but the awkward moment had been caught forever by cameras. Dean's scream. If Howard Dean could change one thing in his past, we think we know what it is. In 2004, during the Iowa Democratic caucuses, Dean gave a concession speech which pretty much ended any hope of his nomination for the presidency. Against growing crowd noise, Dean was forced to raise his voice and yell. For viewers at home, the crowd noise was largely filtered out, making it seem like Dean was yelling and acting weird for no reason. Then, as a cherry on top, he unleashed his infamous scream at the end, which was mocked and parodied for years later. Flip and fall. During election time, politicians love showing how they can hang out with the common people and act just like regular folk. It often comes off as scripted and robotic, but sometimes something really special happens. In 2000, while running for the GOP presidential nomination, Gary Bauer pretty much threw any shot at the White House away. During the Bisquick Pancake presidential flip-off, yup, because that was actually a thing, Bauer tried to show voters he was human by flipping and catching a pancake. It all went wrong when he backed up to catch the flapjack and fell right off the stage. Yeah. MC Rove. Even when it's not the working hours, politicians should always make sure they do nothing to harm their image. Nobody told Karl Rove this. At a 2007 correspondence dinner, the former senior advisor to George W. Bush decided to bust a move to some terrible rapping. As the train wreck unfolded, Rove bounced around in front of the guests, pulling off all those awkward dance moves you'd expect to see from an old Washington politician. As the crowd bursts into uncontrollable laughter, you get the feeling they aren't really laughing with Rove as much as they are at him and his moves.
Let it go,